Builders, stop categorizing your clients and calling them red flags or D clients. A lot of the complaints that I see that contractors have, a lot of the content out there is about addressing these clients and saying, well, I don't need to work with them, drop them right away, ghost them, leave them hanging. You don't need to work with these types of people. In this video, I want to share with you a different perspective and how you can actually work with these types of clients and have a great experience and actually make more profit and more money through using these clients instead of just throwing them to the curb like some of your counterparts. So first of all, some of the common complaints that I see about these types of D clients, one of them, oh, this person asks too many questions. They're trying to nitpick my quote. They're asking for a breakdown of my quote. They're looking for information on all these different things. They're contacting me all the time. They're sending me text messages and they're sending me emails asking all these questions. What a pain. It's wasting my time. That's one. Another one is they want to pay the lease. So these are people who are looking to renovate on a budget. They might haggle with you. They might say, well, this is costing too much money. Your quote looks really high. How can we get this lower? So that's another one, right? People who don't sort of seem to trust you right off the bat and are trying to get you to charge a little bit less. Another one is people who just aren't sure what they want, right? So they come to you and they say, how much, might this renovation cost? Looking for your guidance. They don't know what they can get for their money, that type of thing. And so they're sort of very clueless and deer in headlights right at the beginning of the process. Some clients might be the type who want to get work for free. So would expect you to come and do a free consultation, a free quote, a free, initial conversations with different parties. And as soon as you ask for money up front, they're going, oh, really? Because, so-and-so wasn't going to charge me money, or this other contractor wouldn't charge me for a quote. They would give me a free one. So that type of thing, which is kind of related to the budget question, but it's a little bit different. It's a sort of expectation about, everything being free upfront until you're sort of committed. Another type of client is someone who always comes and says, well, I talked to so-and-so and they suggested a different approach, or I talked to my cousin who's an interior designer and she said you should do this, or, those types of things. And that's really, that can be tricky to deal with too, because it seems to undermine your position and what you know and sort of your self-confidence. And it means that they probably don't trust you on the surface. Another one is just generally being indecisive. So the lack of ability to make decisions on things, or always second guessing themselves, or, okay, I'll get back to you later on that. That kind of thing can be really frustrating because it can draw out your timeline a little bit. So those can be like bad clients. And then another one is the type of people who feel like they need everything right away. So everything is urgent. I need this project done in 3 months. How fast can you do it? Can you start now? What's going on? Get it to me tomorrow. Boom, boom, boom. Right? So those types of people seemingly don't have any kind of respect for your time and have no knowledge about the industry. So those are some typical examples of like problem clients that most builders are being told you should stay away from. But I want you to stop calling these poor people, these homeowners, delusional, right? And the D clients and red flags, and just call it what it really is. These types of people are new to the industry, right? They've never renovated before. They've never done anything. They've never interacted with a contractor before. This is their first time, and they legitimately just have no experience whatsoever, and they're uneducated about it, right? All they have to go on is HGTV shows, which are total BS. You and I know, right? They're not reality at all. Like the budgets are wrong. The process is wrong. It cuts out a lot of the stuff. It makes it seem like it's so easy and so seamless. And we know that it's not true, right? So instead of sort of labeling these clients as all these negative things when they're just uneducated, the way to tackle it is to educate them and walk them through a process at the beginning, which is maybe different than what you've been doing. And this new process will unlock a different type of relationship from day one. So here's one thing I know. The types of people who, have all of these criteria that I already listed, it's important to remember that these people are asking questions. They want to be involved. All of this is because they want a good result for their home. Never forget that this project, whatever it is, even if it's a small bathroom or if it's an entire gut job of their entire house, it's costing them thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars that it took them years to save up for. Is it reasonable that they should just automatically trust you right off the bat without knowing you, without getting a recommendation from a friend, and without having any proof that you can do the job? Why is it that contractors, I see it so often, right? Many contractors and tradespeople and builders just say, well, why don't you trust me? You should trust me. You shouldn't be questioning my quote. You shouldn't be asking for a breakdown because that shows you don't trust me. Why should they trust you? Just because you have some, an Instagram channel, or you've got a website and you've got, a couple of testimonials that could be faked online. People don't really know you yet. And so the way that you tackle that is not just to say, well, you shouldn't be asking questions, but you have to educate them. You have to bring clients with you on a journey. And that is what allows them to start trusting you and feeling a lot more comfortable with handing over hundreds of thousands of dollars. So the process that you can go through in order to get these clients to trust you is to involve them in the planning process. Okay, now there's two different types of homeowners out there that I would consider. There's the first type who really wants to plan it themselves. They just don't know how. So they want to pick the finishes. They want to be, making the key decisions. These are the type who are asking you the questions, who are curious about the countertops. They're not doing that to be a pain. They just want to know. And so for these people, they really need to go through the process of planning it themselves if they knew how. And then there's the second group of people, clients who want to be involved but don't want to lead it. So they just want to be they want you to lead this process, to tell them what to do and everything, but they want to be involved in the process. And that way they can trust you that way. So when you engage in this planning process, before you give them a quote for construction, then it gets them on board with the plan before you're giving them any kind of information about the construction. Like, this is what's missing from the process for most contractors and tradespeople, right? Is that when you say, okay, I'm not going to charge you for the construction yet. I'm not going to give you a proposal for the whole project. All I'm going to do is give you a proposal for the design and the planning phase. Then it's a smaller amount of money. So most clients will be okay to give you that small amount of money in order to help them process the planning phase. And that way, when you go through that with them, then that is how you build the trust. That is how you answer all of the questions. That is how you educate clients so that they know how much money everything really costs, right? Because I think that's the biggest piece that's always missing when you have these D clients, is that it's this education piece. And so when you go through the planning process with them, or they go through it on their own, then they learn all of this stuff. They understand, I can't be in a hurry because all of these decisions need to be made first. And if I haven't made these decisions, then I can't start construction, right? So for the different types of people that I mentioned, right, who want, who aren't sure what they want, when they engage in this planning process first, you figure all that out. So there's no rush to start construction, because if you set the precedent with them early to say, we don't do construction until the plan is done, that sets the precedent so that they know, okay, if they're in a rush, for those type of people, they got to get the planning done first. For the people who don't know what they want, they got to go through planning first. For the people who want free work up front, this planning is actually work, and they can do it themselves if they want to save money, or you can do that with them. Okay, so all of these different types of clients, these bad clients, can actually be solved through taking them through a planning process first, rather than just doing what most contractors do, which is giving them, here's a proposal. Oh, you've just contacted me. I've given you a little free house tour. Here's a proposal for the whole project. That does not give people enough confidence. And so then they're going to appear as these D clients who are asking questions and complaining and everything. But in fact, it's just a lack of planning up front. So this is the type of thing that I teach exactly inside my community, Renovation HQ, which walks you through the exact process to plan a renovation. And so it's either for the homeowner themselves, so you can direct homeowners to the community and actually get a referral fee, which is great, an affiliate fee to make a little bit of money off of that, which is really cool, 40%. Or you can learn the process yourself and then charge clients for that. So that is the best way to earn people's trust and to walk them through the process so that all of a sudden they know what the prices are. So there's no point in haggling when they all of a sudden understand, oh my God, I had no idea that stone countertops were this price, right? I had no idea that cabinetry was this price, right? And when they're involved in that process and you say, hey, these are the different options, these are some, and you educate them as you go through, which they're paying you for. Right? You don't have to do any of that for free. That's the whole great thing about it, is that this is part of the construction process, and they need to understand that the planning phase is a whole separate thing and that they cannot get an accurate price for construction without a detailed plan. When that is communicated, understood up front, all of the problems disappear. So I hope that was helpful, and I hope that this helps you reset your mindset about what these problem clients are and how to treat them differently. And if you have any questions or comments, I'd love to see them in the comments below.